According to some insiders, Marvel Studios has already decided upon and cast their next Thanos-level villain for the MCU. Wait till you hear the theories about this one. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel, and I quickly want to remind you that tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on our live streaming channel, we're doing another community stream, and tonight's stream is all about who should replace Thanos as the next big bad of the MCU. You got a theory or want to argue for a certain Marvel villain to be the next big bad? Come on by the stream. You can literally join, hop on the stream with us, and have a discussion. It's always a good time, so I hope to see you there. Now, this one is quite interesting to me. I saw this pop up on Reddit. This was posted by Pomo Gemma from Star Wars Newsnet. The user is a writer for StarWarsNewsNet.com. And they pointed out that Casey Walsh, who is one of the important people involved on Geeks Worldwide, posted that they heard from two different sources that Marvel had already picked and cast their next big bad and possibly already hired the actor. Now, that in and of itself is very cool, but this whole thing gets very weird from here. You see, a lot of fans have postulated that Kelsey Grammer will actually be this big bad and that they are going to be playing the role of Kang the Conqueror. And this is all because Atlanta Films talked about a recent Marvel casting that just went down, and they teased that this actor is both from must-see NBC TV and the Fox X-Men movies. And so a lot of different fans put together that Kelsey Grammer was, of course, the star of Frasier, which is NBC television must-watch TV, and he, of course, played Beast in the Fox X-Men shows. So what do I think about this in the context of all the other Marvel stuff that I have in my brain, all the stories we've been following? Well, let's talk about that. Number one, I 1000% believe we are getting another Thanos-level big bad in the MCU. Tons of different people have talked to me about this. Sources, YouTubers, insiders, all sorts of people. And Kevin Feige has hinted at this, even at San Diego Comic-Con, when he was asked about the lack of Avengers on the Phase 4 slate. When he was asked about how, Thanos was this big crazy thing. Are there going to be big events like that? Feige said yes. He said that they have the next 5 to 6 years planned out, and that includes whatever their big event will be for the heroes of the Marvel Universe. Middle to late last year, a lot of insiders were running with this idea that there were actually going to be two big bads that were Thanos level coming to the MCU. The concept teased by several of these insiders was that there would be a space-bound or cosmic level threat that would be teased and paid off through various Marvel properties involving the cosmos or space. And then to counter that, there would be an Earth-bound villain being set up as well. And you might see the culmination of both these overarching stories take place where the cosmic side villain and the Earth-bound side villain come into conflict or are both a part of the same plan or something to that effect. But that was the big report out there, that we were getting space-bound and Earth-bound Thanos-eyes. People and villains like Thanos. In fact, the buzz was that Norman Osborn was going to be the Earthbound villain, tying together sort of the conflicts from a ton of different MCU stuff, ultimately being this big revealed bad guy pulling a lot of the strings. And then Michael Korvac was going to be that for the cosmic side of things. Michael Korvac was going to be responsible for a lot of weird conflicts and tying together the villains of various cosmic MCU movies, leading to a big event where he was revealed to be this villain and then thwarted by the group of Avengers out there in space. However, we do know that massive changes happened to the MCU as late as October in 2019. Now, this is something I've talked to you guys a lot about. I believe this is because of the fallout between Sony and Marvel. I do believe that Marvel had those plans in motion, that they were going to use Norman Osborn, but that they may have changed their plans in late 2019. I've also heard from sources that due to these changes that happened late in 2019, that Feige left certain things off of the slate for the Phase 4 of Marvel Studios, and they're just making a lot of changes to the future films, to the Phase 5 movies, because of the things that changed last year. Now, when it comes to Kang, I can totally buy Kang being the next big bad for the MCU. We do know that Kang is going to be introduced in the Loki series, and that story will have something to do with Kang the Conqueror, and potentially set up Iron Lad as a member of the Young Avengers to have that storyline take place later on. I also think Kelsey Grammer would absolutely kill it as Kang the Conqueror. He could totally do that. He just brings that sort of gravitas, you know, that sort of higher intellect, almost condescending type nature. That was very prevalent in his character of Frasier, although it was done in a comedic way there. It could be done in sort of a villainous, very harsh way with the Kang the Conqueror character. But I also believe Kelsey Grammer could play a great Norman Osborn or a Norman Osborn type character. They do have plans for Norman Osborn still in the MCU, but the way it is they've set up the benefactor character to either be Norman Osborn when they figure that out with Sony, or they could just put someone else into that role and have a different character be the MCU Norman Osborn. So it wouldn't be Norman Osborn, it could even be the Mandarin or some other character like that, but in this situation, that character would be exactly what Marvel was planning to do with Norman Osborn, just not with Norman Osborn. I also think there's a perfect opportunity for Doctor Doom to come in and to either be the big bad himself or to be sort of a replacement for Norman Osborn or to be interacting with these different characters. We've talked about this before, but Doctor Doom did have a movie being pitched to Kevin Feige by Noah Hawley. This film was being developed by Fox before the purchase of the Fox assets by Disney, and Feige met with Noah Hawley and they decided to not move forward with that project. And I believe this is because Feige has different plans for Victor Von Doom, and they're potentially very big plans with huge ramifications for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so it would appear that Marvel Studios has their big bad figured out, potentially has cast the person to play the next big bad that will be like a Thanos level kind of villain for the MCU. Atlanta Films is teasing something that's making people believe it could be Kelsey Grammer as potentially Kang the Conqueror, and we of course went over all the different things we potentially know about what other big bad could be the next Thanos of the MCU. But I, of course, want to know what you think about this. You can leave a comment about your thoughts or come by the community stream tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you see this video in time. That would be Monday, April 13th. If you're watching this past Monday, April 13th, then you missed the stream. It's all good either way. But yeah, let us know your thoughts, either in the comments here or come on by the stream. Now let's shout out Royalty97. Yes, indeed, it was Beast that replaced Professor Xavier on the Illuminati after Professor Xavier was killed by Cyclops. So shout out to you, Royally97. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, what is the real name of Kang the Conqueror before he becomes Kang the Conqueror? Answer that question in the comments section below. I want to remind everybody we are still planning our massive trivia contest, which will be coming to the channel next month. We're looking for teams of 3 to 4. You can email us if you have a team of people, or if you want to participate solo and have us match you up with a different team, email us at thedenofnerds@gmail.com or send us a private message on our social media. You can click or tap over there to get lost down a nerdy rabbit hole on some of our other pieces of content. Like the video if you liked it, and as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.